Thanks, Jesse. So welcome everybody to the public hearing on a local law that we're considering affecting a moratorium on commercial cryptocurrency mining operations and data processing centers. And just for context, without going into the details of this industry, that we, the town board, are considering revising the zoning to disallow these industries in Caroline. But until we do that, we thought it prudent to enact in this case, an 18-month moratorium. So without further ado, I will now open the public hearing to accept any comments that anyone wishes to make. So, and Jesse, I'll let you let me know if anyone in Zoom land wishes to speak.
Okay, will do.
Okay, and I have someone here at the town hall, Irene Weiser. Did you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, thanks. I would like to speak just to sort of dovetail this with something that people may know about, that there was recently passed at the state level a bill that would provide a 1-year moratorium on data centers. And it also provides for some other things for the state to look into the cost impacts and how to mitigate cost impacts and some other kinds of things. My sense is that the governor will not be signing it. I can't say for sure. She has previously spoken about how she thinks that this is something that should be under local control. There's already a proceeding at the Public Service Commission looking at the cost impacts on the grid and how to manage that. So I think it's very prudent, and that notwithstanding whatever does or doesn't happen at the state level, you guys should go ahead and do this. So I'm fully in support of a moratorium and hopefully ends up in a prohibition.
Thank you, Irene.
Yep.
Is there anyone else that wishes to offer a statement in regard to what we're considering?
I don't see any hands, Mark.
Okay, thanks, Jesse.
Yep.
I'm not rushing things, but having no calls for further comment, I will now close the public hearing on this. And so the public hearing is now completed. We'll move on to the town board business meeting. So welcome to the June 18th Caroline Town Board business meeting. And there are a couple of things I will note that I would like to add to the agenda. Okay, that's fine. Yeah. Okay. Michelle reminded me that we typically start with a pledge to the flag for the business meeting, so we'll do that now.
Okay.
Okay.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And we also, we did just have a public hearing. We also offer opportunity for anyone who wishes to speak to the board. Okay, sorry. Yeah. Okay. Anyone who wishes to speak at privilege of the floor about any matter to the town board? Nobody in Zoom land, Jesse?
Nope.
Okay, great. So I would like to add to the agenda the authorizing the purchase of a used truck from the Brookendale Fire Department by the Highway Department and a resolution to authorize Zachary Ballard to submit a permit application to the DEC for building a small bridge and boardwalk in the Ridgeway section of the Cottington Valley Rail Trail. And then at the end of the meeting, I will call executive session to discuss personnel matters related to the code office. Does anyone else have anything to add to the agenda? Oh, okay. So with that, I will move on to my supervisor's report. We have awarded the Old Town Hall project, and we're working on the contract execution and the scheduling that's coming up. So that's a work in progress. More to come on that. Not at this meeting, but soon. The Braley Hill culvert replacement is now complete, and we're paying for that tonight. And so that's great. We received a notice of intent to commence contract negotiations with the Teamsters, the highway unit. The current contract expires at the end of this year. The Friends of the Cottington Valley Rail Trail volunteers are continuing their work to establish a walking path on the rail bed by this fall. And if you want to check out, we're holding 2 working meetings, which mean cutting brush by hand and whatever tools you want to bring. 2 a month, Tuesday evening and a Saturday morning. So that's at, you can Google up the Friends of the Cottington Valley Rail Trail website for that. And then the last item I have on my report is that Clarity Connect was awarded the contract by the town of Dryden to install the infrastructure for the broadband hub next door. So, and they were here last Friday, and so hope to see that moving forward, getting completed soon. Partly because it'll empty a lot of stuff out of the town office building that we're storing for that. That's all I have for tonight. So anybody have any questions?
I can't remember if we mentioned this. Well, I wasn't at the last meeting, so I don't know if it was mentioned, but that there was an additional storage unit brought over to the highway field for Dryden Fiber.
Yeah.
I just couldn't remember if that had been mentioned.
Yeah, one of the metal.
Yeah.
Connexes, they're called. Called a Connex.
Codex?
Connex.
Correct.
CONEX.
Otherwise known as a shipping container.
Great. So I'll move on. Jesse, do you have a report?
Sure, I'll just run through the May revenues. I sold 1 fishing license, 1 marriage officiant license. That's a 1-day application to officiate. 19 dog renewals and collected 13 building permits fees. Total local revenues was $2,742.66, given to Mark on June 9th. And I also just wanted to mention, for those that didn't know, the summer hours for the clerk's office began on June 1st. So the office will be closed on Wednesdays through August. And that's my May report.
Great, thank you. Any questions for Jesse? No.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Thank you, Jesse.
Jesse.
Thank you.
Thank you. Highway Department.
The highway department is shredding, eating up the pavement on Level Green Road. And yesterday the machine that does this broke down, and it's currently implanted in the road and can't be moved until they get replacement parts. This is a this is the jobbers situation, this is the town highway department, but I just thought I'd mention it. If anybody's wondering why half that road is blocked, that's why.
Oh, really?
And it's gonna be there for another day or two probably. So they have to get parts, they have to have some kind of compressor in order to lift the thing up off the road in order to move it. And then just the acquisition of the truck, which we'll talk about a little bit later.
And the highway department did work with JV's excavation on the Braley Hill project. We'll be working on the South Hill one as well. Great. Thanks, Jim. The code officer sent a brief report earlier today. Yes. We'll
I
see
can get
that.
it out.
Okay.
Please work. Did he send it to everybody or is he just sending this?
Oh, he might have just sent it to me.
I got it.
I got one,
Oh, you got it? Okay. So it must have been all of us.
yeah, so I let it.
Here it is. Here it is. So it looks like that he issued 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 permits are currently in progress that he's monitoring. I'll also mention that he's been working again very hard with the review board on a couple of projects to clarify procedures and the legal parameters. And now things have gotten so organized in his office that now he's able to turn his attention to the unattended to safety inspections throughout the town. So he'll be notifying the buildings that need inspections. So these would be public buildings such as fire halls, churches, schools, etc. That he's going to begin to do safety inspections. So he's also now reviewing the state law pertaining to all of that, to make sure that he has that in process. But this has been something that the code officers haven't done in probably almost a decade, and it's really important. So he's now tackling that. So that's very good.
Great. Thanks, Tim. Shall we move on to the county legislator report?
Drum roll.
Yeah. Irene?
Great, thanks. So, since the last time I was here, we had our first review of the budget for the county and what kind of impacts we're gonna be looking at. And, that review came before we knew what was happening at the state level. Budget was very late. And it's a number that made us go to look at what it would cost for, or what the revenue requirement would be for a maintenance of effort is like a 17% increase in the levy. Just for maintenance of what we're doing now. So clearly that's not tough. And so we're gonna have a very tough budget year trying to figure out how to rein that in, scale that back. I don't envy our county administrator. He's working with departments now to figure out how we manage it and where we scale things back. A little bit of a right note in it is that our sales tax revenues are up a bit for the first quarter of the year. We don't have data beyond that, but if they continue to be up, we'll get at least $1 million more in revenues than what we expected. So that'll help. Just as a piece of math, this isn't a hard and fast number to work with, but it's approximate enough that is easy for me to work with. Is that for every 1% increase in the levy is roughly $500,000. So every time we're looking at increase of $500,000. That's a 1% increase in our. So it's just and you know, it's not 100% accurate. It's actually probably closer to somewhere between 500,000 and 600,000. For me, just to get a rough sense of where we at with our budget and what's going on. If we ask for, you know, whatever amount of money for expanding the ambulance, you know, RMR program, well, that's gonna be, you know, 500,000 per 1%. It's gonna be X% more in budget increase. So it's tough, you know, and we'll have to figure out how we manage and move forward. Probably same as you guys, the major cost centers are increases in health insurance, increases in pensions, increases in costs for highway maintenance. Not unlike what you deal with local level. One of the differences is that we have way more staff. We're 800 staff. So the cost of living increases, the health insurance increases, pensions, all that happen. You're looking at a staff that large. So you know, stay tuned. I think by the end of this summer, late August, early September, we'll start to have weekly meetings with the administrators' proposed budget. We'll figure out from there what we like or don't like. Meanwhile, it's sort of a weird timing issue. TC3 comes to us now to ask for their increase because they're on a school system budget cycle instead of January. Their budget starts in September, so they need to know now. So anyhow, they've asked for $251,000 for various capital improvements to their building.
Is that decision made before the county adopts their budget?
Yeah, it
It's
is.
like cemented, yeah, okay.
Yeah, and so, you know, I know that, you know,
I'm trying to stop the fan noise.
oh, so you can hear it better.
It's really bad.
So it's interesting, you know, this is my first time through this process as a sitting legislator. What we put in is matched by Cortland County. And then what the two counties to get it from TC3, what the two counties contribute is then matched by the state. So so we each put in 25% and then the state puts in the other 50%. So you know, it's a lot of money. Their enrollment there is increasing, mostly from older, not, you know, what they call non-traditional students, above 25 years old, who are returning, retraining, looking for new kinds of work. So anyhow, that's, you know, that's the first piece that we have to look at. We did recently approve, and this is kind of a cool thing, something called vehicle telematics, which provide some of our vehicles already are equipped with this, some of our fleet, but some not. And it provides not only, you know, GPS locator and, you know, tracking your miles per hour kind of stuff, but also is able to generate reports on the equipment longevity and problems, and you know, and so it will hopefully give us a better handle on when we need to think about purchasing new vehicles for the fleet rather than just doing it on a every 3 or every 5 year, 7 year cycle. You know, it could be that even though it's got a lot of miles on it, it's still in really good shape. So we're hoping that this telematics thing will help us with that. So that was a contingency authorization. The other thing that we authorized this year is a contingency expenditure. And this was just announced in a press release. I don't know if you saw it, but you know, given the whole crazy scene at Asteri, there was a lot of illegal stuff that was happening, and so we put $50,000 forward to help provide legal services to some of the people who were evicted or, you know, otherwise have had problems with the management there. So that's something that we're doing to help out. The city and county continue to meet to talk about the Asteria situation and finding paths forward. So, you know, that's good that they're working together, and hopefully some advances in that regard. The health department has been involved as well, and they were fined $40,000, I think, for a string of health code violations, with $9,000 additional to be paid if they didn't make certain other improvements, and apparently they are making those improvements. So, so you know, that's at least a little bit encouraging, but we're still, you know, not relaxed about what's happening there. So you may be aware that the county has been planning to build a new facility that they're calling the Center of Government. That's intended to take a lot of the different offices that we have. Some of them are in rental properties, others are just, you know, dispersed around town. Some in very old buildings that are, you know, beyond worth investing in to repair. Anyhow, building a center of government. And this was actually authorized under the legislature before I got there. The cost had ballooned. What was originally authorized was 45,000 square feet and $50 million. And the architects came back and gave it was going to be a much bigger building, and it was going to be, you know, more costly because, you know, ostensibly they had talked with all the departments and here's what their space needs really were, and this was to accommodate growth and blah blah blah. And so anyhow, we've reined that back in and said, no, you can't. I mean, it was more than $10 million more than what was originally authorized in the resolution. And so we're back now to the original resolution, which I'm relieved to say. And Holt just gave a presentation at our meeting earlier this week. We're actually, what do you know? They were able to make everything work out, and so it'll be a smaller building, and the fourth floor that they had originally proposed is now just being built with just like the elevator shaft and some, you know, mechanical facilities up there, and with the potential to be expanded at a future date if and when more space is needed. So
it'll be 3 floors.
So it'll be 3 floors instead of 4, and yeah. So I don't have anything direct to report. It's not in the county's purview, but I'm sure you're all aware of the Seneca Street parking lot. And just to say that the county is impacted by that, employees, you know, our employees who park there, and all kinds of downtown employees who used to park there. So it's really a hot mess for the city, and you know, all I can say is the city's trying to figure out where they're going with it. But so there's that. The county has applied to the state for funding, you know, drawn up a plan and applied for funding for temporary housing that would go basically where the Code Blue shelter is right now, back behind Wegmans on Cherry Street. So we'll see if we get the funding for that. That I think we're looking. I think the cost of the building that we estimated is, I don't remember, 14 or 16 million, something like that. And hopefully the state will cover most of that. Earlier this month, Corsa, our county administrator, went to a conference called the Jumpstart Conference. And it's an interesting conference of small municipalities with small airports. It's like a speed dating thing for municipalities with small airports meeting up with airlines that, you know, may be looking to service them, and seeing if matches can be made. So stay tuned on that, but you know, we're trying to pursue getting more airlines to service the county's airports. The median home value has been adjusted by our assessment office. In 2025, the median home value was $228,000, and now the median home value is $290,000 for 2026. Flock cameras have been discontinued, and they should be coming down. I honestly haven't looked to see whether, I forgot to look as I drove down Brooklyn-Dale Road, whether the camera was gone. But they're supposed to be taking them down, so that should be happening soon, if not having already happened. And last on the list is NYSEG. And the rate increase that NYSEG had proposed over a year ago. Rate increase to start June 1st of 35% for electric and 40% for gas. And, you know, as is usual with the process, so they introduced that in end of May of 2025. And so there've been a series of meetings of which I've been involved under the banner of Fossil Free Tompkins, and then also the county was involved to say, hell no, and to push back. And so things go one of two ways. They either go through negotiations and all the parties come to an agreement and write up that agreement, and then the Public Service Commission reviews it and says good, fine, and gives it their blessing. On the other hand, sometimes if an agreement can't be reached, it goes to a trial. And so that's what happened this year, is that there were attempts at negotiation. It was determined that parties weren't close enough to be able to reach an agreement, and so it went to a trial. That trial took place, let's say, in February and March, something like that. It was almost a month long, and it was not provided any virtual access. So many of us, including Tompkins County and Fossil Free Tompkins, and many of the stakeholders were not able to participate because it's just cost prohibitive to go camp out in Albany for a month. So it was mostly agencies with lots of lawyers. Anyhow, the trial finished. The judges of that trial are supposed to then issue a recommendation. The participants in the rate case then have an opportunity to respond to their recommendation, and then all of that gets sent to the Public Service Commission for a decision. And in a very unusual situation, first time in like 15 or 16 years, the Public Service Commission took over before the judges made a recommendation and said, we're going to issue temporary rates. And so those rate hikes have become effective as of June 1st of 3.5% rate hike for electric. And I think it's just a 0.4% rate hike on gas. So just, and they said, we want you to go back and keep negotiating. So the negotiations have just got underway. They're confidential. I can't say what's happening. I can talk about the position that I'm advocating, again, under Fossil Free Tompkins banner, but I suspect that there are other parties that agree to that. But I can't speak on behalf of them. I can share what I want to, which is that there were several things that passed this budget season up in Albany that provide for more affordability for ratepayers. And help to level the playing field a little bit, stop compensation for certain things, that no longer would ratepayers have to pay for lobbying costs and advertising costs that the utility undertakes. So there's various things that could shave some costs off, and other things that require more disclosure than the companies have provided before. And so my position is that I want to see those, my Fossil Free Tompkins position is that we want to see those revisions incorporated into any agreement that we reach, because otherwise any company starting in January of 2027 that files a rate case gets all the advantages. And so I just don't see why we should settle for anything less. So that's the position that Fossil Free Tompkins is taking. Yeah,
Irene, just to go back some steps.
yeah, yes, that's the
I
last.
think it's probably fair to say that a very, very high priority for the town of Caroline. And I think the other towns, represented by TCOG especially, are very, very committed to an expansion of the countywide expansion.
Of the RMR
Of the
program.
RMR program.
Yep.
What can our town board do to, what can our town board best do to communicate that strong will to the legislature?
Well, talking to me is the start. Showing up at any of our legislative meetings. We have privilege of the floor at the beginning of our legislative meetings, and actually a special time after general public for municipal officials. Writing any kind of letter or commentary to the legislature as a whole would be, effective, as well as, if you want to have longer than a 3-minute statement, could certainly do that. I think that there are many of us who are aware of the interest and the need for it, and I can say for myself that I've been advocating for that support. We did just get a finalized and updated finalized report from CGR. Apparently the report that you guys got, probably a month or 2 ago, I forget when it came out. There were still some problems with the numbers. I just got a revised report from them this past week. I can forward that to you.
You got it.
That.
Good.
Did you say you got it? Or?
No, I wasn't aware of that.
Okay,
So,
yeah, Joe
that's
Millman sent it out, so you could contact him directly. Yeah, I totally understood that it's a priority, and you heard about our budget situation. So the other thing that's happening, and this is kind of a mess, is at the state level, and you're probably aware of this, this year, the governor signed the bill authorizing or making emergency services an essential service, which means that they have to be provided. What she did not allow is the bill that would allow the expenditures for emergency services to be exempt from the tax cap. And so, likelihood, certainly to expand RMR would mean going over the tax cap. To expand it, again, using the rough numbers that I've given you, and I think the cost for expansion is what, $2.5 million. That's a 5% tax, roughly 5% tax increase right there. Without looking at all of the other things that we have tax increases to manage. So that's where we're at.
Great. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Anything else? Irene?
I just realized there's one more follow-up. At the last meeting, there was a woman with a driveway situation on Boyceville Road with a pothole that made it difficult for the daughter who was in a wheelchair to be able to board the bus. And I think originally after this meeting, there was some confusion. She contacted our highway department, which of course told her that it's not a town road, it's a county road. I contacted our county highway. They came out and looked at the driveway, and apparently in some years ago, there was a washout that they could attribute to the way that, it's where the shoulder meets the driveway, which is, always a trouble spot. But there was a way that washed out that they could attribute to the way that the drainage had been directed off the road, and so they fixed it before. But this time they came out and said, no, this is this is not a washout, this is normal wear and tear, it was just, you could see in the photos that they sent, you know, it was just a pothole. And so the county was not able to repair that, and I contacted the woman, and they'll have to make their own arrangements.
Oh, so it's a homeowner responsibility?
Yeah, the homeowner responsibility.
Oh, it's not on the roadway.
No, it's their driveway.
Okay, okay.
A dirt driveway that, you know.
I thought it might be in the right of way, but it's not.
No, it's not.
Okay.
No.
Just looking into that.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, I was actually really impressed with Nick, the highway department. He himself came out to look at it on the way to,
What's that?
he himself came out to look at it on the way to a meeting, and was very responsive and prompt about it, so I appreciated that.
Yeah, and he's good.
Thanks.
Yep,
Thanks, Irene.
Thank you, Irene.
yep.
All right,
Can I ask a question since I wasn't here last time, just since we're not doing internal reports? Did you guys get a chance to address Michelle's interest in applying for the grant for digitization for this room? I just don't know if that happened or not.
yeah,
Yeah,
we have
it's on
a
the,
resolution
Okay.
for that.
Oh, that's what that is.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Right in front of me.
Glad you asked. Anything else before we move on?
No,
Really wise or? All right, so, moving on, I will offer a resolution to adopt an 18-month moratorium on commercial cryptocurrency operations and data mining centers. And the resolution is resolved, the Caroline Town Board hereby adopts a local law to enact an 18-month moratorium on commercial cryptocurrency operations and data mining centers. And the local law is posted on the agenda. Do I have a second?
A second. 1 second.
I think Tim got that.
Oh.
So,
wrote it. We'll send it.
discussion, any?
Yeah, I mean, I just wanted to say we've received some communication to the town clerk regarding this. One was a letter of support, another one was some recommendations for maybe some tweaking. And I would just like to suggest that I think the best way to proceed for us is to pass the blanket resolution at this time in anticipation that we're going to be finessing language for inclusion in our zoning law in the very near future. And that would be the best time to consider the really helpful recommendation that we received, just so we can get a better sense of the overall picture. But that's just how I'd recommend that we proceed with
It
this.
seemed like a knowledgeable, informed comment, yeah. So,
I agree.
you agree with that, Michelle?
Yeah, I agree with what Tim said.
I agree with that.
Okay. Very good, yeah, I think that's a good recommendation. Yeah, as far as you know, well, we received a comment before we ever did this. Someone concerned about whether our zoning law would say anything about data centers, and really it does not. So that's our concern. And then we received 2 comments in regard to putting this forward. One was, yes, please do this. And the other one was the informative comment about kind of defining what this would be. So, great. If there's no further, anybody have any further comments? I'll call for a vote. If not, okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Okay, that's unanimous. Great, and I will thank Tim for taking the initiative to pull that together, so.
I thank the town of Dryden for providing the help. This happens.
Okay, the next resolution to approve the advertisement for bid for the old town hall restoration project electrical work. By town law, something called Wick's Law, the procurement policy. We needed to break this out as a separate bid from the town hall project. So that's why it wasn't included with the rest of the project. So, I'm offering that resolution to approve the bid that Barrow provided us, and it would be, made public effective on Tuesday, June 23rd.
Second.
Seconded by Michelle. Any questions or further comment?
Is there anything else that is separate from,
Just this,
it's just this?
just the construction work and the electrical. Yep. Yeah. I will admit that I don't, I mean, this was discussed with the town attorney. And so, he would know the basis for the Wick's Law and what it's trying to do, but probably about fair bidding and, things like that. So, okay. We ready for a vote? Okay. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Great. Michelle, do you want to offer the next resolution?
Okay, this is to, I'll just read it then.
Sure.
Resolved, the Caroline Town Board hereby authorizes Councilmember Michelle Brown to submit an application to Digitize New York for services to digitize certain records in the town clerk's office. And these are specifically marriage. I don't know if there's birth records. Jesse can comment on that. I think they're from 1880 to 1907. There's like 24 pages.
Yeah,
we
and they're
thought-
just marriage, no birth.
Just marriage. We thought,
Can we get a second before we
oh,
continue?
sorry, okay.
Just
Second.
second by Tim. Okay, go ahead, Michelle.
We just thought this sort of discrete, project would be a good way to start and see how it works. So we'll see what happens. I mean, it's a very simple application. I'll just fill it out. I will say I'm a little concerned. I wrote to them and asked them a question about because they're oversized. And if that would be a problem, and I did not hear back from them, but we have heard from this, which seems to be a private company looking for work.
But did you get a reply to your question?
Yeah, it's mainly, I think they're offering to store them, they're offering to take care of them, through, I mean, but I'm sure it's for a fee, and
Are they associated with this?
I asked him if they were associated with it, he did not address that question, so I don't. Yeah, so I don't know, but I think at this point, we'll just submit the application and see if we don't hear from them, we don't hear from them.
Sounds good.
See,
If we need to take another step, we'll do that.
yeah, then we can start looking at actual grants offered by the state archives or something, at the beginning of the year to do more stuff. Anyway,
Yeah, this is great. I'm glad to see this moving forward. So
Thank you.
thank you and Jesse. That's great. Any further discussion or questions about this? And Michelle did send an email with a link to the program, right?
yeah, that explains it. And they have done, I believe they did work for Candor. I mean, they've done work nearby. And I guess just to fill everybody in, you have the option of they will set up the equipment in your office and you do it here, or they have centers throughout the state, and there's one in Syracuse where you take the material up there. They will digitize it and then you go back and pick it up.
So we might do it either way. Because before I thought we were gonna have to take it to Syracuse. But
Yeah, I'm assuming we'll still take it to Syracuse, because if they give us the equipment, then somebody's got to find the time to actually do it.
Okay,
And we could be doing the town reconstruction.
Right,
project
at
the
that
same
point.
time.
And also, I personally don't have I mean, maybe they would train you, but I don't know anything about scanning oversized objects. I mean, I'm assuming it's an overhead scanner, but I would rather just take it someplace and have it.
I bet I could do it.
It's really typical, I
I
think.
know you don't have a lot of stuff to do, so maybe. I would rather just take it. I mean, I feel
Yeah.
they're probably trustworthy and
I agree with you.
we can get an archival box. I mean, we should order an archival box for it anyway, but we can get a better storage and for transporting it.
Yeah.
So.
Good, okay. We ready to vote? Great, all in favor? Aye. Opposed? Believe it or not, that's unanimous, Jesse. I'll offer the next resolution. It's too bad Jonathan's not able to attend tonight because this is him. But this is the appointment of Climate Smart Communities Task Force Coordinator. So whereas the town of Caroline seeks to recertify its Climate Smart Communities bronze status, therefore be it resolved, the Caroline Town Board hereby appoints Councilmember Jonathan Bates as Caroline's Climate Smart Communities Task Force Coordinator to 1, organize and call meetings of the town's task force, 2, identify Caroline's past climate smart actions, 3, identify any new actions that we may wish to complete, 4, identify and collate the necessary documentation, and 5, submit the documentation for recertification. And further be it resolved, Caroline Sustainability Committee, Energy Independent Caroline is hereby designated as the town's Climate Smart Communities Task Force.
I'll second that.
Seconded by Kate. And any questions or discussion? Great. Okay. I'm gonna call for a vote. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Also unanimous. Great. Now let's see. I will offer a resolution to authorize for the highway superintendent for the purchase of a truck.
Remember the stuff there.
Oh, okay. Okay, thanks. Thanks, Irene. So I will offer a resolution to authorize the highway superintendent to purchase a truck from the Brooklyn Tile Fire Department, the 1993 International 4700 with 24,000 miles. Bobby let us know. And for a cost not to exceed $10,000. Second by Tim. And Bob let me know that he's known about this truck for a long time and they don't use it much. And if they ever wish to get rid of it, he'd be interested. So this is the opportunity. So it's very economical.
And what they'll be able to do with it, twofold. One is use it
To what?
to flush out drainage and ditches on the one hand, but also ideally equip it for a plow. Back
It's really nice house.
Huh?
It's a really nice house.
So I can. Did Bobby put out an email?
What?
No, this just happened today. I mean, they just got a deal last night.
Oh, okay.
And I told them that I would rush it through because it's so reasonable. This is something that he's been talking to me and Mark about for a couple of months.
Okay.
And he's been trying to convince the fire departments to do it for a couple of years.
So what kind of truck is it?
It's a fire truck.
It's a fire. Oh,
It's a fire truck.
okay.
Full fire truck.
It'll get a changeover, a makeover.
Okay, Bobby's not just wanting to try a fire truck. I'm just wondering, what's it gonna get changed over into?
What Tim described.
They're gonna use the fire truck as fire truck.
Okay,
We have no equipment in the town to flush out drainage
oh, okay,
and help clean up
oh, okay,
washouts, that sort of thing.
Well, that
So
makes
that'll be
sense.
really helpful for that, but also the idea is going to equip it for use of a plow as a backup plow truck.
okay.
Yeah,
That
I
makes
mean,
sense.
For $10,000, I think it's just.
Oh, that's fine, yeah,
I think it's
I'm
it's a
happy
good
with
move.
the $10,000 amount,
Yeah.
so that's great.
Do we need a second?
I think somebody seconded it. Kate,
All right, so
are we ready for a vote?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure, okay. All in favor?
I,
Aye. Opposed? And then I'd like to offer a resolution to authorize Zachary Ballard to submit the permit application on behalf of the town to the DEC for construction of small bridge and boardwalk in on the Cottington Valley Rail Trail in the wetland section.
I'll second that.
Seconded by Kate. And so Zachary works for New York State Parks and is familiar with this process and has volunteered willingness, he's volunteered to do this. So I thought I should, you know, authorize it by town board resolution so that it's recognized as a valid representative of the town for this purpose.
that's great.
Yeah, so there's the specific situation is near Ridgeway Road, Wilseyville Creek crosses the trail. There are two concrete abutments used to support the rail line over the creek. And it's not wide, it's from here to that first bench or something like that, but it's deep and you can't just wade across it.
Right.
So it's something we have to get across. So anyway, so a small committee is working on engineering plans. And
what about cost? Who's gonna pay for it? Has that been figured out yet?
We may pay for it with donations to the Friends group. But I also think that this is at some point, this is I'm glad you asked that question because I think there are appropriate, it'd be appropriate for town expenditures for some of the upgrade for the rail trail. But I think a lot of this opening up the walking path is just a wonderfully sort of, bootstrap volunteer effort. So that's what we're trying to do. So,
Great.
all right, so if there are any further comments or questions, we'll call for a vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So let's see. I can throw it. Did I miss anything? I know the executive session is coming, but I want to make sure everything else is taken care of.
Just the approved vouchers.
Let's see. Oh, yeah, we definitely need to, and we got that's in my
Do you have
committee.
a budget transfer to do?
Yeah, I do. So I'm going to start with that. Thanks, Jesse. So I'll offer a resolution for a single budget transfer amount of $600 from a 1990.4 contingency to the supervisor's contractual A 1220.4. Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
Second by Michelle. Any questions? Hearing none, I'll call for a vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. And then I'll offer a resolution for the payment of town bills in the amounts of $36,420.83 for the A fund, $315,922.61 for the highway fund, and $2,732.11 for the streetlight fund.
Mark, does that include that one voucher that I pulled out for the defund? It was a wrong figure.
I corrected that figure, so it's corrected in here. Yeah, thank you. Yeah,
Second,
and seconded by Tim. Thank you. Yeah, any other questions? So this, and the large highway number includes paving by Sudco for CHIPS funding, and then about $100,000 payment to JB's excavation for the Brave Hill project. So a lot of things happening.
and Bobby mentioned today, I don't think I mentioned this to you, that apparently we received our CHIPS funding.
That what?
We received our CHIPS funding apparently.
We received CHIPS funding recently?
Yeah, that's what he said, unless I misunderstood it.
Okay. Maybe it was, maybe the state increased the amount eligible, because we have to submit,
Yeah, just.
we have to submit the expenditures first, so,
You
okay,
mentioned this just literally in a
in passing, yeah, okay, great. All right, any other questions? The streetlights includes a payment to NIPA for the maintenance agreement, so. That's why it's high this month. Okay, I'll call for a vote. All in favor?
I,
Aye. Opposed? Great. And you seconded that one, Tim?
Yes.
Okay. All right, I think we've got it. I will now offer a resolution to enter executive session to discuss personal
Are you gonna-
matters.
Sorry, are you gonna approve the minutes
Oh, okay,
from June? Before you do
okay,
that?
With enthusiasm.
yeah, okay. Anybody have any comments for the,
Well, since I wasn't there, I'm
Yeah.
not weighing in. That's why I'm enthusiastic.
yeah,
they seem great.
Yep. Thank you, Jesse.
yeah,
Thank
okay.
you.
The minutes are approved, Jesse, thank you. And with now, whatever time it is,
7:58.
so offer a resolution to enter executive session to discuss personnel matters related to the code officer.
I'll second that.
Seconded by Kate. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Opposed? You,
Great, thank you.
thanks, Jesse.